Okay, today's video, thank you guys for tuning in. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys how I routed the harness for the Doc low pressure fuel pump in my 2017 Audi A6 CREC motor. I'm gonna show you guys how I did it. Had a lot of help from Johnny, who's on Instagram. I'll post his Instagram below in the description, so that way if you guys do have any questions, feel free to message him, but also feel free to message me. He has a lot more experience in this than I did, so I went to him for a lot more help, but I did route mine a little differently just to show you guys. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I routed mine and what I think is the best way to do it. So stay tuned for that. Okay, to start, well, we got parts everywhere. I already have mine installed, but I'm going to walk you guys the step-by-step on what I did and how I tested it to make sure that it's actually reading correctly. There's other tests that can be done that was given to me, but I shouldn't need to go through that. It should be all okay. So to start, again, huge shout out to Matt Barrington. Thanks for hooking this up. I really appreciate it. And you know, the fast shipping that Jackal was able to give me. So that's actually really nice. And again, huge shout out to Johnny. Thanks so much for helping. So let's get straight to it. So basically, what do we got? We got my trunk. Obviously, it's kind of stripped away. You would have the spare tire in here. You would have the cover, which goes on top of here. And then you would actually have the side cover that's kind of similar to this. Let me get that light out of you guys' way. So similar to that right there. My preference, and again, this is how I did it. I found it the easiest and best way to do it. So as you guys can see, this looks pretty much just all Audi standard. There's really no difference, right? At least from what you guys can see, but believe it or not, I got the harness actually in there. So what do we do? I took, first of all, this cover that goes on top of here, which is right there. You can see that. There's two clips way in the back here. There's one that in that corner, one in that corner. So those two little stubs right there. This is gonna be the first thing you guys are gonna wanna take out. And believe me, take it out. There's a lot more room when you take it out, and it's annoying to put it up and down every single time. So take that out. What you do is you're going to need something like this. Just basically get really under there and then pry it up, and they'll both pop out. They'll both pop up. In other words, it is a little two-piece setup that snap onto the carpet here. These were kind of a pain to do, and this one came apart, but I was able to snap it back on. So these will snap up. Get that out of there. Get your battery hold down out, which mine is right there. Get the spare tire out, spare tire tools. The jack could stay in there. You're not going to have to deal with that or anything. And then we're going to hop onto this piece right here. So I actually have all my pieces sitting on top of the Corvette over there. Kind of sad to see, but that's okay. The Corvette gets love too. So this plastic trim piece that's right here, that's for the latch. This is actually a fairly simple thing too. Just pry on the sides here and here, and then what you do is you would want to pull up, right? So they sit in the stub here. There's another stub there. When you pull this up, the whole thing will come out. It's all clips, by the way. They're metal clips, that's metal tabs that just snap in. And then the reason why we're doing that is because you're gonna wanna take this whole side piece out. So, and again, you got the weather strip, undo the weather strip here, and then, again, you guys, this is why I did it. I'm gonna explain to you guys why I did it this way, and why I found it to be best this way. I'm gonna get to the harness part in just a second. This is just in preparation of installing the harness. So this is what I did. Again, you guys could find and figure out your own ways, do your own ways, but you're gonna want access to this fuse panel right here. So you're gonna want access to that fuse panel. And then you're going to be dragging wires everywhere around here. And just imagine with all the plastic or all the interior trim pieces and everything here, it's going to be in the way. It's going to be annoying. So just get it out of the way. It's the first thing to do. So with that, just to give you guys another thing here. So you do have this little net thing here. I didn't know how to take it out. To be honest, I still don't know how it came out. It just, I guess it like twists. It's got like a little twist tab. You have to like twist it in a way and then like pull it out. I mean, that's the best way I could explain that, honestly. And there are going to be a bunch of clips. The clips that are going to be, let me show you. I got all the clips over here. So these tabs, yeah, these tabs, just to give you guys, just to show you a little bit better in the light, these tabs here, be careful prying these up because they will break. These are the tabs that sit right here that your little metal bracket will sit in. You actually have to twist them. See, they kind of have a twist bottom. You got to twist them and then pull them up. So twist them and pull them up. There are going to be no tabs that are going to be like the little tree tabs, I guess you could call them. These you won't run into taking this area apart down here. So you twist them, pull up, those in the back, the two stubs, pry those up, they'll pop out, and then you get that out. You'll get the little cubby area out, which is this piece right here. You get that little cubby area out with the little net, this metal net. That whole thing will come out. So get rid of all that first. Onto the side trim piece. So with this being gone, weather strip pulled back, this trim piece does have those plastic tabs. It will have these tabs here as well as these. There's different size ones. So these small ones, there's going to be, I believe there was 2 or 3 of them up top, and you'll feel them. There's no way you can miss them. I mean, we could use this side as a reference. There's one right here. There's one back there as well. So get rid of those. These just pop out. You need that pry tool. You're going to have to take these off too, which I'm not sure what Torx bit that is. I think it was like a T20 or something like that. But you're going to need a Torx bit to get these out. These metal brackets for the whatever net screen or whatever you use them for right here. So you got to get these out. And this is on this side. So a lot of removing stuff. It's very, very easy, very simplified. I found it very easy to go through. I didn't look at any instructions or anything to do that, which, by the way, the low pressure fuel pump, it did not come with instructions, but you could ask like Tony or somebody for them and they'll send them to you, and they're okay. They're okay. They're not the best instructions. Because this is a very, if I were to rank this like out of 5 of like the hardest to do, it would probably be like a 3.5, almost 4. You would have to actually kind of be mechanically inclined to do this, in other words, because it's got a lot of you know, wires and a lot of connections, and you got to mess with the fuse. So if you're not familiar with doing any of this stuff, I would absolutely get with somebody. And again, I really, really hope this video helps out. So this interior trim pieces, however you guys remove them, get rid of them. I'm telling you, remove them in order to install this harness. This will be the easiest, simplest, cleanest setup you'll have. And to get straight to the fact here, see these plastic runs? They're actually little runs for the factory wires that go down to the battery, to all the modules and whatnot. And there's actually one right here as well. So this plastic kind of a channel thing tucks in all the wires and it hides them and it doesn't get pinched. It's just a very clean setup. You're not running wires like inside the plastic trims underneath the, you know, you're underneath this basically, and tucking it and, you know, stretching a wire and doing all of that. The wire harness that came with the LDOC low pressure fuel pump, the dual pump that is, the harness itself is actually really nicely made. It's almost like it's OEM, like factory from Audi. I don't even know if he made it himself. He may have, because I would assume you have to route some wires certain ways to a module and whatnot. So it's actually a really, really clean setup. So, and basically where we're at is these runs. So this here, so just to give you guys an idea, this is the harness here. You got the relay. Let me see if I can get more light for you guys. I'm using a shop light right now for all the lighting. So basically the harness, this is the harness. You have the relay right here, and then you have this. So when you guys get it, this connector here, it doesn't actually show you, but you're gonna get a fuse. And with that fuse, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pop the fuse into this connector, and then you're gonna put this cap on. So again, it's gonna be very intimidating when you guys see the harness, and I really do hope that that explains it as best as I can. I could actually pop this cap off to show you if you'd want. Actually, let me do that real quick for you guys to show you what I'm talking about. Hold on one second. All right, so again, with the kit, you're gonna get the harness. There's gonna be like a little plastic sleeve. Oh, turn the light off. There you go. There's gonna be a little plastic sleeve, and in that plastic sleeve, you'll get a fuse. What is that? 10 amp fuse. It's a 20 amp fuse. You're gonna stick that in this connector here. And then, I don't know if you remember, but as I was saying, basically this cap, it just snaps onto there. And that's it. So you do that first. This is in preparation of installing. Do that first. That's the first thing you do. And that would be the best thing to do, is obviously the first thing. So get that done. The relay is already connected. You don't have to worry about the relay. We'll talk about this in just a second. All right, so as you guys can see, this is the harness. We have actually a wire, which is right here. And this run channel, I tucked it all the way under, and that is going to be the positive and negative. That's what you're going to be running underneath this. So the positive and negative, it's very obvious. One's black, one's red. Tuck those underneath here. So the harness is going to be reeled in a circle. So kind of split it away. So you're going to want these three main connections to be hanging out in this fuse box area. You're going to have another random connection that's going to be for the low pressure fuel pump, which basically, if you could see, I have it running on this all the way through over the arch over here. And this is all foam, so it's all nice and insulated over the foam all the way through that plastic run right there. So again, this is the cleanest setup, at least I think. It runs through that plastic run, goes all the way down and into the low pressure fuel pump area, which I'll show you guys in just a second. So you're gonna want these over here, all of this. We're gonna talk about this here too. As you guys could see, I basically have this wired into a tap, which is the main fuse right there. So it's actually in fuse spot 5, and it's a huge help to Johnny for showing me that. Hopefully you guys can see that clearly in the camera. And the reason why it's in spot 5 is that's because that's not always live. That is only live basically when the car is running. In the instructions that were given by Jackal was in actually a different fuse area, which shows that it's always live. So it's always running even when the car is off, and that's not what you want. So again, I don't know how accurate those instructions are or what car they were using it for. This is 2017 C7.5, the correct A6, of course the 3.0T, for you guys that are new here. But anyways, so positive, let's go back to positive and negative through this one run channel here, all the way down. Basically, you're going to use this for the ground, which you can see I have it connected right there. And then the positive will route all the way through the area back here. So, and then this spot right here, right, this bolt here is where the open positive is. You're going to want to bolt the positive right there. So 2 connections. I'm actually going to clip that because we're done with this. Negative. So this is the area you're going to use to route here. I've seen some guys where they route it under here and over through there and all the way through here, and then you'll have wires running through here, which doesn't look nice. I've seen some guys kind of just fish it, tuck it under here, and try to run it through here. Now this is with all the paneling and everything on. You'll be able to see that with just this cubby thing out. So I've seen people do that, and it's a struggle, and you're going to be fighting it. And believe me, when I say to get rid of this, it's a lot easier just to take this out. It is a little pain to take it out, but once you have everything unclipped and from this area and unbolted, you're going to have to go in the trunk because you're going to have to take the side upholster off. But real quick, again, the main connector here. So we're going to actually leave that like this because what you guys are going to want to check, well, it's not going to stay, but I'll make it stay a little later. You're going to want to check to see if your PWM wire is actually reading with the car on. So we're going to run the wire straight through there, go all the way in the back there. And this here, you're going to have to buy this yourself. It's a jumper, basically a fuse jumper. And I'll put the one that I purchased in the description below. It does not come with the kit from the LDOC kit, so you're going to want to actually purchase that yourself. Now I'm going to get in the trunk and I'll show you guys in the trunk. So now we're in the trunk, and I hope the lighting is good. Obviously remove the back seats. If you have heated seats, be sure to disconnect. There's 2 connections on both sides. Remove this side and then that side over there, and then you got this cover is going to be over basically like this. Just lift it open. This is where the low pressure fuel pump is. I have not installed mine yet. I'm actually going to do that. This is that other cord that I was talking about that you're going to be running through the run channel, basically right there. So this side upholster you'll have here, there's 1 bolt that holds it in. It's very, very easy actually. There is 1 bolt. The bolt holds right there. It snaps in. And then there's 1 bolt down there. When you take the back seats out, you'll see the 1 bolt. Unbolt that. Pop this out. This will pop out very easily. And it'll give you access to that side plastic trim. Here, maybe I could put the seats down. So, yeah. There you go. So this right here. It'll give you access to this. Run the cord through there. As you guys can see, I have mine right here. I ran mine all the way under. It's kind of dark, sorry about that, but it's very easy to see. Yeah, ran my under this plastic trim, and I have mine routed around this arch. So when I have the low pressure fuel pump installed, even though the cords are right here, you're going to have the 1 random cord facing a different angle. Mine will be snapped in kind of like that. So it's around this arch because when the seat's down, it's not going to be putting pressure on it. Also, you do have the most important thing here. Let me get some light for you guys 1 second. Okay, so got some light for you guys again to show you. This is the side upholster. Move that. You're going to have 1 bolt right here. That's the stud area. I got the bolt out. But main connector, routed it through that plastic side piece all the way under around this arch. Got the most important wire right there. That is your PWM wire. That is basically what signals the low pressure fuel pump and tells it to, hey, you know, turn on or give it more power or whatever. So that wire, you can't really see it. I don't really want to touch it, to be honest. But it is a red and purple wire that is the signal. That is red and purple. So with the kit, you will get like this crimp, and basically what it does is it snaps onto that wire, and it basically punctures it. And what you'll do is the connection that comes with this is paired, that you're going to drag through the side plastic piece there, all the way under and over. So that PWM wire will go this way, your fuel pump connection will go that way. And red and purple, you crimp that on there, make sure it's crimped really good, and plug in the connector, and that's really it, honestly. The next thing I'll show you guys is how the PWM is actually working and reading correctly, because if it wasn't for, you know, Johnny, and again, I'll put his information description below, his Instagram. If it wasn't for him, I would have had everything connected and the fuel pump would not have worked. So with a voltmeter or an ohm meter, basically you're going to read voltage at a pin on a connector in the trunk, which I'm going to show you guys. And if you're getting voltage, you are good to go. That PWM wire is reading correctly, and it is connected to the factory harness for the PWM for the fuel pump. So I want to show you guys that. Once you get that reading, you do have to have the car on and running. So I'm going to open up the garage door here and let the car run, and I'll show you guys the reading with the voltmeter, and I'll show you what connector on the harness it is. I'll do a little cold start video for you guys. I am, just to give you guys an idea, I'm going to be switching up some things on my exhaust here in the near future. And that is one of them being the exhaust tips, but I am going to do a nice little cold start video for you guys. And give me 1 second, let me start the car. You know, I completely forgot I have the mic on me, so you guys probably didn't really get too much of a cold start, but that's it right there. I'll wait till it idles down and I'll explain to you guys here shortly. Okay, so we got an ohm meter connected. I have it set to that setting right there, which is, what is that reading? Voltage. I believe that's reading voltage, yes. Okay, so lights are on. Got the negative probe into the negative part of the battery, positive in my hand. We got this harness here, which you guys will obviously see that. It's the biggest part of the kit, the harness kit you're gonna get with the Doc low pressure fuel pump. And this is what plugs into it. It's a module. It's basically an RS3 module, if I'm not mistaken. So the connector number 6, right? So this, look at this area here, that's going to be up. You're going to be last connector, which is number 6 right down here. Let me stick that in there. So we're going to put that there. And as you can see, I'm reading voltage. This is how you know my PWM connection that's up there by the low pressure fuel pump is reading correctly. So in theory, if I had somebody to rev up the car, this is gonna go higher. It's gonna request more voltage, which is gonna give more power to the low pressure fuel pump to operate, you know, with more power. So that's how you know that your PWM is working correctly. So again, the biggest thing to do before finishing everything up, meaning harness and everything, is check that, because you're going to want to make sure that your connection is good for the PWM before finishing up. There's obviously, you could read the data log, and the data log will show you, the data log will basically show you if you're reading it correct, or if it's working correctly, meaning your low pressure fuel pump duty, if it's working correctly or not. And I think that's really it. There isn't really any other steps. I mean, It's as simple as trying to keep it clean, removing the panels from in the trunk on the side. Once you're in it, you're going to see the clips and, you know, the pieces that are all there. It's very, very simple. Again, I've never removed it myself, although I am very mechanically inclined myself. But if you're not, message me or Johnny on Instagram. Again, his description will be the bottom of this video. You can message either one of us, and we'll be able to try to walk you over the process and how to do it. But once that harness is installed, after that, it's very simple. Your low pressure fuel pump, you take this piece off, take that silver piece off, which is 3 Phillips bolts, and that'll give you access to your low pressure fuel pump, which will have a plastic ring around it. You do need a fuel pump tool to remove that. And then I could put a description. I'll put an Amazon link for that as well if you guys are interested in doing that. That way you guys can see what I used to remove the fuel pump. But the biggest thing is the harness installation. And you should be good to go. Once the harness is installed and powered up, basically you plug it into the fuel pump and should be good to go. So again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope the video, at least the volume quality of my voice, is much better compared to my last videos. This was kind of a short and straight to the point how I did it. It's not a step-by-step. This is just to show you what I did. If you guys want me to explain a couple other things a lot better, just let me know. Maybe I'll make a video about that as well. I don't see anybody out there with a video of this as far as a low pressure fuel pump, dual low pressure fuel pump installation on a Crec. So as you guys all know, I'm currently still the record holder at 11:01 draggy time, that is. Am I trying to shoot for any kind of records right now? Am I trying to go there? Of course, I'm trying to get a 10, you know, that's the goal. Is this going to help me? Absolutely. I think it will absolutely help me, because the issue that I've been running into, especially when it's a colder DA, or not even a negative, just I would say like in the mid hundreds of DA weather, it's running E40 with the ported blower. I do run into a low pressure fuel pump engine speed too low code. And that is basically my low pressure fuel pump not being able to feed my high pressure fuel pump fast enough to give more fuel to the engine. So my top end is kind of straight doo-doo. So this should absolutely resolve that, and I should be able to run a little bit more E, shooting for probably E55, E60. That's what I'm going to shoot for. And I'm going to do another run, and I think we should be good to go. And again, the DA in the hundreds. Negative DA is even worse. The less E you run and negative DA, the better your fuel pump will basically hold up. So just to give you guys, that's what I've learned. That's what I've been through. I've learned all this stuff myself. A lot of this stuff I've asked questions about, and then it's trial and error, basically. I tried it out myself and I figured it out. So, but again, thank you guys. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I will try to get this video out to you guys as soon as possible. I shouldn't even say that because the video will be posted up by the time I say it. Peace out. Thank you guys.